Out of many, many simulators on Roblox, there's one that stands out. It's called Bee Swarm Simulator, and the reason why it stands out is because of how it's made, and of course the fact that it has been very popular through entire 6 years since the release up until now. But what makes it so popular? That's the question I want to answer in this video. Let's start with the release of the game. The release of Bee Swarm Simulator happened on the 23rd March 2018. This is a moment captured at the 6th of April, which is 2 weeks after release, and already then the game reached over 25,000 of players, which even in 2024 isn't really a small number, but in 2018 this many players would probably be just as much as 100,000 of players right now. Bee Swarm Simulator was one of the first big simulator games, but unlike any of the 2018 simulator games, it still can easily get tens of thousands of players daily even after 6 years. Just like, for example, Pet Simulator 1, Bee Swarm was pretty unique and it gave the Roblox players something new to try out. But unlike Pet Simulator, it always stayed just one game, and most importantly, it feels unique and different compared to other simulator games even 6 years later. The reason it does is because there aren't many games that were trying to make something similar, but I'll talk more about this later in the video. So 2018 was a big year for Bee Swarm Simulator, the release, and many big updates happened that year that would change the game a lot. Over half of the big updates, which had their own icons, actually happened back in 2018, which is pretty crazy. There have been 15 updates, if not counting Roblox events. One icon is missing on the image, but 9 of them happened in the first year of Bee Swarm Simulator. The next 5 years of Bee Swarm had in total 6 updates that had their own icons. Pretty crazy, right? 2019 was also pretty big because of adding the new 35B zone, which till this day is the best zone, and later on in the 2019 Beesmas, the new bee rarity came out, the mythic bees, which affected the gameplay by a lot. The updates after 2020 weren't as impactful, I would say, but still worth mentioning. So 2020 was pretty much the year to start the one update per year trend, because the only update that happened that year was the Beesmas update, and it stayed the same for 2021, 2022, 2023 didn't receive any updates, but 2024 was different. In early January, the game got an update, and later, if not counting the event, in the middle of summer, the Beesmas event was released. It wasn't the best, and it did get some criticism, but the game still managed to get a very high amount of players despite being not the best update. With every year, the Roblox player count rose, and so did the Bee Swarm Simulator's player count as well, getting more and more players with every update. So that's Bee Swarm. Used to update a lot before, and now it doesn't update as often, if we again don't include the Roblox events. What if someone who liked the idea of Bee Swarm Simulator would make a simulator game inspired by Bee Swarm Simulator? Would that have a chance to succeed? Many ideas have a chance to succeed when done right, and so is with the Bee Swarm-inspired games. There have been quite a few tries, but none of them have actually been able to succeed. I have 2 actual examples. First one being the Bees History, a pretty nice-looking game that had a few hundreds of players at one point, but lasted only around a half year. And another example, a newer one, is Ants Simulator 2, a game inspired by Bee Swarm Simulator 2 and reaching over 600 players despite it being in beta. But it was canceled just like 2 months later. Both games had potential and even were getting players, but sadly didn't succeed. But there's a problem. If people have the original game to play while it updates, they might not switch from it even if the other game has a bit better quality. If Bee Swarm stopped updating and someone would create a game with same or similar idea but with better quality, people most likely would quit Bee Swarm to play that new game. And now we are slowly moving to the question, what will happen to the Bee Swarm in the future? The game managed to stay alive for 6 years. Could it continue the same way? It could, but as you know, everything good eventually ends. In this case, at some point, Onett, the creator of Bee Swarm Simulator, would stop updating the game. It could be not far away because for the past years, the game received less updates, delays, and unfinished promises. But even with months of no updates, the game could stay at above 10,000 of players daily, and you may wonder how. The reason people continue to play is not only because they like the game, but also because they know that eventually there will be an update. And all of the grind they do won't be useless, as an update would come out and they would have an advantage in it. The way Bee Swarm have been able to stay popular for over 6 years is with the content it offers. It may not have many updates, but they still happen, giving players a reason to continue and play the game. Over the past 6 years, the game received a ton of content, and if you never actually played Bee Swarm Simulator, it could take you weeks or even months to get to the end game, which is way more than other simulator games. Many players just macro the game, and now, combining those two factors, you probably realize why the game has that many players all the time, even with no updates for months. Only because of it getting closer to December, the game would receive more players as everyone is waiting for a Beesmas update. And seeing this graph again, even with barely any updates, the amount of players only increased. So if it continues to update once a year, it would at least stay at around same player count, maybe even grow bigger with more and more people starting to play Roblox. The only real way for Bee Swarm Simulator to actually lose many players is if Onet makes announcement that the game won't be supported anymore, meaning no more updates. But even so, I'm having a feeling it'll have thousands of players joining it daily. The game became one of the biggest simulator games on Roblox, and the unique idea behind it is what makes it so popular compared to other simulators. If Pet Simulator has to update very often, like once a week or two to remain the player base, Bee Swarm could have update once every 3 months but have the same effect. Unlike Pet Simulator, it's harder to recreate the idea, and that's why you see many Pet Simulator type of games, but not Bee Swarm type of games on Roblox. There are some, but as mentioned earlier, they didn't really succeed to maintain the players. And all that we discussed in this video about pretty much shows why Bee Swarm Simulator was able to stay popular for the past 6 years. The ideas, the amount of content, and the uniqueness helped this game to maintain a high player count through the years, and it will continue the same way for a long time, just like it did for the past 6 years, possibly going even higher than the current player count record for the game. It all depends on when the creator of the game decides that it's time for him to step away from the game, pretty much. If the popularity Bee Swarm got is deserved, is for you to decide. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I would appreciate it. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat with me and other members there. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.